everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I am here with my longtime gal pal, Narina, and she is going to share her story about her journey throughout the years in our programs. Narina, would you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Narina. I'm 36 years old and I work as a marketing director and a copywriter and a happiness coach. And I've done the Happiness Makeover, the Anger Purge, the Happiness Coach training, which is how I became a happiness coach. And most recently, I did the childhood trauma program, which was absolutely life-changing. It was extraordinary. Right now, I'm actually doing an updated version of the Happiness Makeover because I've done it once a very long time ago. So now I'm doing an updated version of it, and it's one of the best decisions I could have made.
That is so amazing, Narina. She has definitely drank the Kool-Aid, folks. How did you come across this work originally?
I met you like a long time ago when I was still in college, and I was interning, and I was looking for opportunities like internships. And who would have thought I found this random opportunity of this production company on Craigslist that you were doing the Happiness Makeover show. And that's also when I learned about positive psychology. And it totally changed how I look at psychology. Because when I first learned about positive psych, I realized, okay, this is the area of psychology that I wanted to study. I was already a psych major at the time, and I discovered positive psych, and it blew my mind because of how it's so geared toward someone's strengths and enhancing those strengths and really nurturing those strengths instead of focusing on weaknesses. And so my perspective completely changed. And I'm so grateful I learned about positive psych through you and your work.
Yay, thanks, Narina. I'm kind of blushing a little bit, everyone.
Good.
What was your first impression of me? Were you like, hey, is this happiness real? Is she a fake? What is going on here? What happened for you? And what was your original impression?
My original impression was I remember stepping into the house and meeting you, and you just like exuded this energy of caring and nurturing. And I knew, oh my gosh, okay, this person cares about her work and my well-being. And it's rare that you actually meet people like that. So, and it was just the energy in the room just coming from you was so beautiful, so nurturing and caring that that was really my first impression of you, and your sense of humor and how welcoming I felt because, again, I was so new to this, to you and to this industry and the field and so forth. And that meant the world to me. So thank you for being so open-hearted.
You're welcome, Narina. You make it easy. What made you want to take the leap of faith to do the programs?
Because I remember how, again, I saw how caring and nurturing you were and how, you wanted to help. So when we had the rundown of the schedule of the Happiness Makeover, I remember just like week by week what would be happening. I just had this, feeling in me like I have to do this. And just learning that it's a mind, body, spirit program, that it encompasses, the mind component, and then there's Reiki, which is the spirit component, and nutritional cleansing, and just all of that. It's like the best of all worlds. So I thought, okay, I think I'll regret it if I don't do this because it's just so different and it's so real for everyone's well-being. And I'm having this opportunity right now to do this. I want to do it. And it's coming from a person who really cares, who's on a mission to help millions of people live happier lives. So you can't go wrong with that, because it matters who you work with. It totally matters who you work with. Yeah.
Aw, thank you. Yep, that blushing is going farther.
Good.
I'm just wondering, could you speak a little bit about your experience with the happiness vitals over the years?
Yeah, so the cool thing is when I first did the happiness makeover, and I learned so many different practices of how to maintain your level of happiness, and how to be strong, how to achieve deep inner contentment. And I mean, originally my happiness vitals were just kind of like a roller coaster. When something good happens, get happy. When something bad happens, you stress out, or I stress out. But then through the work, I learned to be in control, right? Because when you go through the happiness makeover program, you learn to be in control of your happiness, your emotional state, regardless of what happens. You're just, you choose whether to be sad or happy. And throughout the years, even when I finished the happiness makeover, I was still able to just choose, okay, well, I'm not going to stress out. So my happiness vitals were very good throughout the years. And that's huge. I mean, I wonder how many people can say that when you have control over your emotional state, and, because life can throw all these things at you. So my happiness vitals remained really, really good throughout the years, even after the program.
Yay! And we're talking like 17 years, folks. We're actually a
Mm.
lot older
Yeah,
than you might think.
it's true.
Wow, that is amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Have you, in the beginning, did I say like, oh, you're going to be 100% positive thinking or 100% living in the moment? And were you like, whatever? Or were you like, yeah, actually, I think that's possible? Or, have you achieved the results that, we set out to achieve?
I definitely achieved the results we set out to achieve. And I remember when you first, I think maybe anyone who hears these claims, so to speak, in the beginning, a person will think, wait, could I really? Maybe someone else can reach 100% positive thinking, or 100% and living in the moment. But me, I don't know. So I remember having those types of thoughts, yet it's kind of like, you took me by the hand and you were teaching me how to, you know, get to that point. And I did. I got to that point. So yeah, in the beginning I thought, well, I don't know, like maybe I'll get to like 80%. But it was actually definitely at 100. So yeah, in the beginning I didn't really believe it. And then while doing the work, okay, I didn't even realize how I got there, which was pretty amazing.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So it sounds like you really did achieve the results that we were planning to achieve. And my next question is, what did you think you were signing up for, and what did you get?
Well, I knew I was signing up for a program that was gonna, help me be in control of my happiness and my emotional state. Little did I know that it was going to be even way more than that, or just how impactful it was for other areas of my life. So, because happiness encompasses a lot of different things that are happening in our life, be it our personal lives, our careers, our family life, right? Our friendships, our relationships, and so forth. So, I think I guess I didn't realize that it was gonna really um, heal or pinpoint these other areas. So it wasn't just because everything I realized comes from me and my reaction to certain things. So once I was able to just become happy, so to speak, or achieve that deep inner contentment, my relationships and my view on life and my goals started to become like a more positive light was shined on these things, like personal life, relationships, career, and so forth. So it's like a win for all type of thing.
I love that. And the research has even shown, that actually happy people make more money, happy people recover from illness faster, happy people have better, longer lasting relationships, happy people live at least 7 years longer. And so what you're saying is that you saw those in your own life, it sounds like.
I did. So it was kind of like a ripple effect in a sense. So, and it's true, right? They say, we're like there's a mirror reflection of our internal world. So whatever we feel here, or whatever is happening here, is what happens on the exterior in our world. So I definitely saw that.
I love hearing that, Narina. Okay, so you've been doing this work for a very long time, you mentioned. Were there any surprises that came up along the way?
The surprises were, I guess, it's funny when I started doing the work originally, I don't know, maybe other people will feel the same way. You don't realize how you're changing, but then other people notice how you're changing. And so I remember I would have like my family and friends notice these changes in me and they would point it out. I was like, oh, interesting. Yeah. And then just I would notice these serendipitous or just these moments happening in my life that were just very positive that didn't happen before. So it was, yeah, it's like a painting that was just kind of like full of, a blank slate or a blank canvas that was just now starting to have color. It was really cool. Yeah.
That's a great description, Narina.
Thanks. Very creative that way.
That's really beautiful. My next question is, have you ever seen Dr. Amy's Happiness Hard Ass? And what was
Ooh.
that like?
I did. And it's the good type of happiness hard ass. Because and I appreciate it. I think I want to call it tough love, yet it was like in a good way, right? Tough love where the happiness heart as comes out to make sure you do the work because it's very I remember when I was doing the happiness makeover, I there were moments and where I slacked off and then Amy would, appear and be like, okay, you're slacking on these exercises, which is why you're feeling this way. And it was in the beginning, because what happens is when you start feeling better, because you're doing the work, you think, oh, well, I can just, I can take it easy. I'm good. I'm getting happy. Yeah, and it feels as quick to remind me, you have to finish. You have to like be consistent to solidify this foundation of happiness. Like you have to finish the work. Otherwise, it's all going to be, like you're going high and then you're just going to drop. So you have to keep, you have to keep the momentum going. So, and I remember those were the moments where the happiness hardest came out, and I really appreciate that. So it was like a loving hard ass. It wasn't like a drill sergeant, just like pushing you or just like forcing you to do things. So yeah, it came from a place of love and care.
Okay, great. Thanks for adding that part. What has been the easiest thing about the programs that you've participated in?
Um, the easiest part has been, I guess, the conversations you and I had. I always appreciated that. And that was always very, just, just, I never had to, like, I always felt free to say things that I wanted to say, never had to pretend. The exercises were also easy and they were just so quick, like in the happiness makeover, like the morning routine, super fast. And I love how it can just, works for like any schedule really. And it's effective. I love that requires such powerful exercises that require very little time. So it worked with my schedule. Some of the other programs that I've done, like most recently, the childhood trauma program. I loved some of the art work, I guess, that I had to do for my own growth. And it was, again, it was easy and fun and very creative and therapeutic. And so, yeah, there were a lot of things. Yeah, the
Okay.
programs themselves, they weren't difficult. They were just more, I think when you're growing and learning, it becomes just easy.
You have a good attitude, Narina. And then what was the hardest thing about this program? There must have been something.
Hard was keeping yourself accountable, right? So I think for me, it was keeping myself accountable to make sure I did everything, because it's, there's a part of self-discipline that plays a big role, because I realize, I'm the only one who can change my life or change my psychology, with your help, of course, but I have to do the work. And so just being diligent about the exercises, um, like, you know, like in the childhood trauma program, making sure I answer all the questions. And when I ask my family of my past that when I was little, I don't remember. So just being diligent and asking all the questions, and, never taking the shortcuts. I think that was the hardest part, yet it was worth it. Yeah. And asking the tough questions too. Yeah.
Mhm. And that is my next question. What was the most rewarding thing that you've received out of these programs?
The most rewarding was the long-term effect. I think that is pretty amazing, because it's pretty wild to do something like a program for, like a few months, and then have the results last for years. I think that's pretty incredible. I also remember, the anger purge comes to mind. And it was one of the most also rewarding things I could have done. It took me, I believe, about 3 months, maybe 2 months actually, to do the anger purge perfectly. And it was like a huge weight was like lifted off my shoulders. It was absolutely life changing, and the results have just, they remain still. And I did it also a long time ago. So yeah, the main rewarding thing is that the results last a very long time. They're still lasting.
Yeah, they're still
So
lasting.
they're still lasting. So
Yeah.
let you know if there's a deadline. I haven't reached it yet, or the expiration. I mean, haven't reached it yet.
How long would you say you've sustained your happiness now?
A long time. I mean, many years.
Years?
I mean, right now I'm doing like the happiness makeover again, right? To refresh my memory and so forth. Yet I wouldn't say I'm starting from scratch. So for a long time, like just a long time.
I'll take it.
Yeah. We can do the math from whenever
Yeah,
starts with
so
you.
years you've sustained your happiness. That is so amazing.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier. However, could you go into it a little bit more about what others have said about you through this program?
Yeah, people just started noticing a difference in me, specifically my family and close friends. For example, if before I was more reactive to things, they would be like, now when something would happen, just like, okay, well, I need to, resolve it. I need to take care of it. Just more of a calm state. It doesn't mean I, don't get upset or on certain things. Obviously, it's good to feel emotions and so forth, yet I never get stuck in the negative. I just kind of observe it, and I see what am I learning from this, like that happened? What is this circumstance? What is it teaching me? What do I need to take from it, like something important? And then I just adjust. I adjust my behavior. I adjust my outlook on it, interpretation and so forth. And people have noticed even how I, when we're together, let's say, and something stressful happens, like, wow, you're so calm. I think that's the phrase I get the most often. You're so calm, you're so level-headed. And it definitely comes from training this, you know, emotional, this muscle, this mental muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What What were some of the inner results you've experienced? So calm would be one. However, what are some of the other inner results you've experienced?
Definitely deep inner contentment, happiness, states of bliss, and joy, excitement, enthusiasm, optimism, zest, faith. Like just, I think faith is a big one. Just knowing that whatever happens, happens for the best. From a spiritual standpoint, just having faith in God and or the higher power that I'm being guided in the right direction. And I know how to now, like, I can pay attention and notice actually the signs that are coming from the universe. That was a huge lesson as well. I started to notice that because as your heart opens and again, as you do the spiritual work, or as I did it, I started to notice the support I'm getting from the divine, which was also huge. I really felt it
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Hey, I think it's called Magic and Rainbows in the book. Is that what you're referring to?
There you go. There you go. There's a name for it.
Right, that serendipity. And then
Yeah.
what are some of the outer results that you've experienced?
Outer results have been the experiences I've had with people, the better friendships I've made, the letting go of people who just were, not in alignment again, like with me and with my now set ideals or goals. So again, wishing them well, never holding any anger, just letting go uh, of people peacefully and with dignity and self-respect. So, and just attracting much better people and opportunities into my life. I've noticed that. Yeah.
And you've been achieving some goals recently?
Yes. Yes, definitely, which ties into, personal relationships, like meeting the right person, um, you know, and knowing what you want, also doing that inner work to know exactly the kind of person you want to be with, which is really important, and never settling for less, right? For me personally, like I got married, I met the right person, I got married, and it's just and with confidence. So again, not settling, not having any doubts. So and just loving life.
Yay! And by the way, everyone, I was thinking about it in my head during this commercial, and I think, Narina, you have probably spent about 10,000 hours in these programs doing this work. However, without actually doing the 10,000 hours of work and maybe only, 24 or something in the Happiness Makeover, would you recommend this work to anyone else, and who, or anyone in particular?
I definitely would recommend these programs to anyone who's into really personal growth, who wants to who believes in personal development, because working on yourself is probably the best work you could do for yourself. And I remember when I did the happiness makeover, I wanted to do the happiness coach training because it's like, okay, now I want to teach it to other people. It's extraordinary, it's life changing, and it's long lasting. And that was always my thing. So for anyone who like wants a long lasting effect, that's something that's real and tangible, definitely do this work. Because once you, let's say, heal the wound, that wound is healed. Like it's just done. And you see the difference from it. And maybe you'll also want to teach it to others, and you'll do the happiness coach training program like I did. So yeah, anyone who's interested in personal growth and you feel like your life is just, like if the same thing keeps happening over and over in your life and you need a change, definitely do this work. Yeah.
Can you describe the anger purge? Because that might be a little scary to someone. And here you are looking so calm, you know. Can you speak to the anger purge a little bit?
Yeah. So the anger purge was really powerful. For me, it took less time than some of the other programs because the other programs are very thorough. Anger purge really just focuses on the anger part. And so basically, what I did was collected like from my whole life of all the moments that made me angry, and I was able to identify the cause of those. And I saw a pattern of what was making me angry, and just being able to release it, because there's a process, right? Like to actually release it. And when you work with Amy, you'll find out what that process is. Um, when the thing is, when you actually release it, you start to, it's like you were blurry for a certain part of your life, and all of a sudden you're seeing things clearly. It's kind of like that. It's really powerful because anger is one of those yucky, those, emotions that we really all need to get rid of. It serves zero purpose and it's only hindering us. Because with anger can come, feelings of revenge, or even, self-sabotage, or just, forming poor relationships. Because what if you're holding on to a grudge, right? Just a lot of like different things. So the anger purge is really a way to see things clearly, and practicing forgiveness and giving yourself a chance to live a much, again, healthier, happier life. I hope
Compassion,
that,
compassion.
yeah, your
Come out with
passion.
compassion on the other side. So this is what the weight was that was lifted, was the anger, and now you feel the compassion, right?
Exactly, exactly. Compassion is just, that's the place where you want to definitely be. Anger.
Where do you think this work is headed for you, Narina? Do you see sustainability on the horizon for the rest of your years? Is this a possibility? I mean, you've already sustained it for like 14 years or something you mentioned before.
I do, because with me, I like to think of, I like things that work. I like things that are effective. And something that is sustainable and something that I can learn and it will stick, that's always a winner in my book. So instead of doing something a million times, this is 100% sustainable, and I am living proof of that. So these programs are, they're just life changing. That's it. Once you do them, it's like, you heal the wound or whatever it is that needs healing for you. Yeah, and then they're very it's like the formulas are similar, but they're so like, it just, like, you, Amy, you just know how to even pinpoint people in the right direction of what needs healing for each individual. Yeah, because we're all different.
Yeah.
So yeah, my
There's
main thing is
that.
it's 100% sustainable. 100%.
That makes me so happy to hear that. And in closing, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience, Narina?
I just want to say, whoever's listening to this, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to thrive in life. You deserve to just, experience bliss and joy every moment of every day. And if you're not there yet, really do the work. And you have someone on your side who can guide you in the right direction. And you don't have to do it alone. And some of the most successful people in this world, they asked for help. And it's okay to ask for help. That's actually a strength. I definitely don't regret doing the work, and I live it. I'm the living proof of it. Just do the work and you'll thank yourself for it, for sure.
Yay! And then you'll be calm and content, just like Narina, achieving your goals, high
Yeah.
well-being, and all that stuff. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your really busy life to be here with us, Narina, and everybody else. Link below.